Hola, amigos.
Hola.
Hey, thanks for joining us for this quick tour of what the Mastering Medical Spanish course looks like. A lot of folks have been asking us, how does it work? What are the details for getting logged in and everything? And so we thought we'd just give you a quick tour of the course itself.
Yeah, first of all, if you took the masterclass series and saw the lessons both live and recorded, then you have a good idea, but we're going to run through what exactly it looks like. So let's start with the basics, Rory. When does it start?
Yeah, so the class begins, our registration closes August 30th, and then the first real lesson of the course opens August 31st, the next day. And then routinely on a week-by-week basis, the lessons open on Wednesdays, and the following week on a Tuesday is when we have our live practice sessions.
So if I'm an eager learner, I can't just jump in and consume all the content because I have to wait till the lesson opens.
That's right. You have to, week by week, one lesson opens. There's plenty for you to do within each lesson. There's tons to learn.
Digest slowly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So let's show them how to log in.
Okay. All right. So let's get the screen going so you can see the course. So you'll have all the links and everything. You navigate to the course, and as soon as you get here, if you see this like price $397, take the course, you know that you're not logged in. And so first steps first, you need to go over here and get logged in.
First step, they have to enroll in the course. They have to pay to enroll and get in the course, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So you enter your password that you established when you were purchasing the course, and you get logged in. And then that little pricing note will disappear, and you'll have access to the course itself. All right?
Okay. So in the teaching world, which we're in,
sure.
There's two terms that are floating around right now, especially because it's the beginning of the school year. One is synchronous and asynchronous lessons.
Yeah.
And this course, Master Medical Spanish, uses both synchronous and asynchronous lessons. It's a perfect hybrid, but what are we talking about? Let's start with, give a basic definition. What's synchronous, asynchronous?
So asynchronous means on your own time, at your own speed, when it's convenient for you. Synchronous means it's on the schedule. It's when we're all together, synchronized, and we're doing something together. So asynchronous, the content in this course that you're seeing here, all these lessons down below where it says course content, all these things are asynchronous lessons. The synchronous lessons are the Tuesday practice sessions when we get together and practice all of this stuff week by week.
Okay, so the asynchronous, I want to take a deep dive into what a specific lesson looks like. I want to show them what it looks like because there's a ton of information in each lesson. You can think of each lesson as a module, essentially, or a unit.
Yeah.
And then within each unit are several lessons. So
let's
take a deep dive into it.
Great. So we'll start right here. This is the only one that's currently open at the moment. It is the masterclass content that is available to you. So we've got the main lesson here and 1, 2, 3, 4 topics. Let's take a look at one of the topics. The first one, Historia del Problema en Español. And so you've got the topic lesson that Leslie and I taught. You've got the downloads here. We could take a look at what those downloads look like. The download is the slide deck from the video lesson, and it's pages of slides that we went through in that lesson. So we'll scoot through it pretty quickly. And then in addition to the slide deck, there are more open-ended exercise type pages for you to work on that also support the content of the lesson. And this one, we did a lot of brainstorming around the 5-patient profile strategy. So you've got space there to do the brainstorm. So we've got the lesson, we've got the downloads, and then with each lesson, we have a practice session, right? And so if you missed the practice session that week, we've got the recorded live lesson so that you can catch up with what you missed. In addition to that, there's also the relevant vocabulary from the lesson is put here in flashcard format for you. You can use the flashcards, or you can change the study mode, and you can turn it into a test if you want to turn it into a test. You can turn it into a matching activity where you have to make everything disappear and play the game. So you have vocabulary there to work with. Once you're done, you click next topic, and you move on to the next topic in the course.
And just to clarify, if you took the master class with us, these lessons right here are going to look familiar because this is from your master course. It's kind of like a brain warm up before we get into the new content.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so that describes the asynchronous lessons. So now let's talk a little bit about the synchronous lessons, which are live lessons. When do they happen? What platform do they happen on?
Yeah.
The details.
Yeah, so every Tuesday we have 2 different live practice sessions, and we're trying to help folks that are night shifters, day shifters, etc. So we've got 10 a.m. Mountain Time every Tuesday, or 7 p.m. Mountain Time every Tuesday. And that's the best we can do with people from 3 different time zones and different work schedules, 8, 10, 12-hour shifts. So that's over the Zoom platform, and you get all that login information when you join the course. And what we do is we get in, we do a quick review of the week's lesson, and then we take the different conversational tasks and practice tasks and break up into small groups so that you can practice.
With a guided structure that they practice with.
Absolutely.
Guided format.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we've looked at the synchronous, the asynchronous. Oh, I wanted to say also in the asynchronous lessons, you have the flashcards, the lesson notes to download, and then there's another piece that we haven't spoken about, but the quizzes, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you want to track your progress and see if you're acquiring, at least in your brain, all this information, then most of the lessons have a quiz that go with them.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at, let's take a look at like this present tense verbs lesson here that pops up in week 3. You see the topic, and then you see a quiz to help you assess how you're doing with that topic. Yep.
Okay, excellent. Are there any other course details in the asynchronous part that, like, flashcards, quizzes, any other components?
Yeah, each topic also has an audio file that you can download and listen to offline of someone from our team, a native Spanish speaker on our team who's recorded the audio so that you can listen to it during your commute or whatever.
That's a great thing. Okay, one other thing, we mentioned a bonus, and that bonus is access to all of our previously recorded medical Spanish courses that they have access to for an entire year. And so tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, so this access is actually lifetime. And on your left-hand side of the sidebar here, you see your user here, and you see that you have access to 7 courses just by registering for the Mastering Medical Spanish course. And so here's the first one, Mastering Medical Spanish. And then you've got the bonus course, the complete guide to taking medical history in Spanish. You've got the Mastering the Past Tenses in Spanish, present tenses. So all of your bonus courses are here on the left-hand side.
So there's a ton of content to consume within a year.
Tons.
And even though this is a 13-week Master Medical Spanish course, you have access to this, to the Master Medical Spanish stuff for a year.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
And then lifetime access to
all the other stuff.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome. Let's see, okay, so in lesson 4 of the masterclass, when we gave the blueprint, we talked about the 3 C's that make online learning super successful, actually. So it's the content, which we've showed you the content. Actually, you should go through the topics in a little bit too, but not right now. The content, communication. So the live practice sessions is where the communication, and then community. How are we incorporating community, a great community of healthcare workers learning Spanish together?
Yeah, in a couple of ways. First of all, in the live practice sessions, you're paired with someone at your level. You take a placement test, we assign you a level, and you practice with other people at that level. And so many folks from our previous session are still meeting together on a weekly basis working on their Spanish. So that's the first piece of community. The second piece is a private Mastering Medical Spanish Facebook group that we've put together, and it's just for alumni of the course and present members of the course. And it is a community of like-minded people who are all working on their medical Spanish and trying to improve their patient interactions in Spanish. And so that course, you manage a community in Intercambio.
Yeah.
Tell them what the user experience is like in the Facebook group and you'll be managing the Mastering Medical Spanish Facebook group. So what can they expect?
It is so fun. It's like an additional little toque extra especial. It's not necessary to have Facebook and be a part of this community, private Facebook group, but it is just kind of makes everything go above and beyond.
Sure.
Because the community members can interact with each other. If someone has a doubt or question about vocabulary, grammar, they can post it on there, and you get 17 different responses. If you want to find a conversational partner within this safe, secure community, other students who are involved in Master Medical Spanish, that's a place where you just reach out on the wall and say, hey, I want to practice on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Not Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. That's what we're teaching, but Thursday nights, at 7 p.m. Who's available? You can find partners like that. There's different challenges that we'll have throughout the months that you're involved that we're gonna, just additional opportunity to practice the language, to connect with people, to get feedback, to ask your questions, post your doubts, things like that.
Yeah, it keeps the Thursday through Monday connection going. Because Tuesday we meet together as a group, Wednesday your lesson opens, and then Thursday through Monday you have a community connection.
Okay. So I think, the last thing I wanted to go through with them is to show them the lesson topics.
The topics. Okay.
Yeah. Themes of
we
each
can
lesson.
see them on the left-hand sidebar here, but they're kind of small. So let's scroll down to the bottom where we see them. Okay. So currently the masterclass topics are open and available to you, and they go away after we close them down here tomorrow. And then we've got a lesson on building rapport and trust with patients, and you can see the topics there: patient introductions, medical professions in STAR, etc. We've got understanding the patient's symptom, and we've got common questions to understand symptoms, symptom vocabulary with TENER, STAR. And we move down present and present perfect, two different verb tenses that we work on at the same time. And we've got anatomy topics, general anatomy, organs and their functions, and then more anatomy. We've got the patient's medical history here. So the medical history, surgical history, history of the problem, and we've got review of systems in Spanish. And then we've got a pain and injuries lesson with all those topics. We've got a catch up and review week that we've built in to the course so that you have a chance to slow down, take a breath, catch up, and get back on track for the second half of the course. Preterite past tense verbs, a bunch of quizzes in here because there's a ton of stuff to learn. And then we've got the imperfect past tenses with the history of the problem in the context of the history of the problem. And then we've got commands and conditionals, more grammar stuff. Part of those is 6 essential verb tenses we looked at in the master class. Physical exams, ordering tests, talking about procedures, direct and indirect objects in Spanish, which are those little mete, ley, nos, les words that screw you up all the time. You're not quite sure what's happening. Here we sort it all out and clarify it for you. Diagnosis, treatment plans, discharge instructions, all the topics available are associated with that. And then finally talking anticipatory guidance with patients, talking about follow-up appointments, and motivational interviewing in Spanish as well. So that's the content of the 13-week Mastering Medical Spanish course. It is, yeah.
So if I was a learner and I'm thinking, okay, that's a lot, but I have a year to go through and practice it over and over and over again.
Absolutely. So the live practice sessions and everything are during those 13 weeks, but you've got access to this content. And in fact, it's all downloadable too. Even the instructional videos are downloadable. And so you download it into your files and you have it forever.
So they basically have a Common Ground National course curriculum at their hands forever.
Basically, yeah. It's kind of a good deal.
It is a good deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're wondering what your next steps are, if you want to be involved in this awesome content and community and communication, really increase your conversation skills, you need to register before the end of the day on August 30th.
Yeah, so Sunday, August 30th, registration closes midnight on Sunday, August 30th. Get in because it won't happen again until next year. Yep. So we'd love to work with you this fall. Hopefully you can make it work with your schedule. If you get in and you figure out that your schedule goes crazy, well, you've got your 60-day money-back guarantee, and we can also transfer your registration to the next course as well. So whichever works for you. There's really no risk.
And drop your questions down below if we didn't get to them.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Adios.
ciao.